Can we talk for a second about meditating? Because it seems like what I hear is that not very many people do it. So I have two questions for you, and I'm curious to hear what the difference is between the two questions in the responses. So first, have you tried meditating? Second, if you have, well, regardless of how many times you've tried in the past, if you've tried meditating, at this point, do you feel like it's weird? Here's what I think. I think it is weird at first. You're doing this and you kind of feel like, what is the point of this? How is this helping? This is just weird. And then if you're able to let go of that and just start with just the focusing on your breath and just being in the present moment and just letting yourself like not entertaining any of the random thoughts that try to come in your mind all the time and just being, there is a level of peace that comes with that, just being in the present moment. It's linked to the whole mindfulness thing, where you just pay attention to like how you're feeling, your five senses. What do you smell? What do you feel? What do you hear? What do you see? Maybe you close your eyes, maybe you don't. I like to close my eyes. And you just think about like, what does this feel like? What does your breath feel like? And you just focus on that. When you do that, all right, I just want to add too, that when I say that you don't entertain all those thoughts that try to come into your head, don't beat yourself up over the thoughts that come into your head. Don't get annoyed with yourself because you let the thoughts in, because the thoughts will come. And you'll hear people describe, like, think of the thoughts as like a cloud coming into a clear sky, and you see the cloud and then you just let it drift by. So like the thoughts will come, and don't get annoyed with yourself for letting the thoughts in. Just be like, oh, there's a thought. Now I'm going to go back to my breath and not think more about the thought, and just keep practicing that. And that's part of learning to meditate, from what I understand in my limited experience. So the point of all this, and the reason you're doing this, is because when you're able to let yourself just be in the moment and experience what it's like to breathe, and that's all you're worried about, and you're not letting the thoughts in as much, when you do that, there's something about that allows you to be more calm. You'll feel more peace. And when that happens, I described it in my post kind of a weird way. It's like your soul is, or your spirit or your soul is inside, and it's kind of surrounded by this wall of thoughts and all the things that are running around in your head. And it's like hidden or like walled off by all of those things. And when you're able to like let those thoughts go, it's like a little crack in the wall, and the light comes in. And it's like your spirit can peek out. I know that sounds really weird, but it's like this opportunity for you to this is gonna sound so weird, but like get in touch with you and let the deepest part of you speak. Okay, this sounds really weird, but like when you're able to do it, it's a really interesting, peaceful, reassuring, good experience. And it's like, in my post I talked about how you can only get so far when you're listening to other people and getting information from others. And then there comes a point where you have questions that the internet cannot answer, nobody's podcast can answer. You have to get them from yourself. And if you're like, I don't know the answers, how am I going to get them from myself? This is how. When you listen to the deepest part of you. I recognize that a lot of what I just said sounds kind of weird and out there, but it's something that I am kind of in the beginning of a journey figuring out. And one thing that frustrates me about it is that it feels very slow going. And maybe I will talk a little bit more about this tomorrow, because I feel like I've talked a lot today. But I do feel like bit by bit I'm making progress, and I think it's something that you just have to keep practicing continuously to really get somewhere with. Anyway, I don't know if I didn't really plan to share all this, but maybe it'll be useful to someone.